will run straight away as soon as he sees him, though. Meanwhile, Samel and GH looking to cut off Y, but they actually run into Shiro. So Shiro, ensure that his support does remain protected. Enigma Galaxy still posturing pretty aggressively. They do want to try and fight for this bounty rune, but Noob seems like he's kind of been left alone. They'll make their reappearance back into this spot as Shiro. Does he want to fight? He does not. He will leave the area, and that will be a 2-for-2 start anyway. It doesn't really matter. Pretty even here, as now Ghost is taking a fair bit of harassment from Planet. Planet already removing just about half his mana on this Medusa. As you said, Jonathan, we fully anticipate that Planet will probably be pulling quite a bit, as bottom lane they are indeed fighting. Omar gonna back off, but a fair bit of damage being dealt now to Y. Shiro's gonna make it out, and then GX, they will give up the little tri-lane they have going. GH, of course, gonna go back towards Ghost, and it seems like Noob and Omar will continue. How do you feel about support Slark there, Joe? Do you like it?
I've seen it work. Again, in Rally, we saw 9-class playing this a lot. It's a menace. You can't trade with it in lane because you sit back, you've got Barracuda as your innate, you have that free regen going for yourself. You can spot out wards very easily, and it makes Vision game a nightmare here for the side of Tidebound. Again, it just has this presence that is very hard to shake off. It always has that impact. You have to waste a lot of time to try to catch it out. So I do like it here for NGX. The lane partnership with a Sand King maybe is a little bit quirkier. It certainly can start to kick into gear at, say, level 3 if you manage to soak that up, which theoretically you should be able to do. Although, again, Omar starting off with the usual Essence Shift.
Omar's actually just dead, I think. One more hit will do it from Y. Oh, the Fairy Fire is going to save it. Very, very nice. I suppose that's the issue, though. Like, sure, this Slark can feel really busted with that innate, but at the same time, like, if you're going to run into Shiro and Y while they have Metamorphosis, chances are you're not going to have a very good time.
No. And again, this is still level 1 for Omar. He needs a Dark Pact up to really be that nuisance that he wants to be, negating Y's presence, just removing the reflection as well as a factor in the lane. But he's going to be able to soak it up fine. Like, they still have the lane under their control. They're doing a great job. They aren't stopping Shiro's farm, which is going to be a big part for the side of Tidebound. Like, theoretically, your Terrorblade shouldn't be under threat for the most part, as long as you manage to play your spacing and utilize your Metamorphosis right. So it basically just boils down to a basic farm lane for Shiro, unless someone does overstep. You know, you see some of the D wards coming out there from Omar again to keep that stability. Taking a look at the mid lane though, nothing to say up against Sumail. The Bristleback versus the Beastmaster lane. Nothing to say, it's just using his back, getting the quillets off. The boars are not going to last long, the creeps don't tend to last long either. And yeah, this takes me back to like 2019,
oh my
right?
God.
When you'd see this Bristleback mid. He doesn't care for the damage. Every time you hit him, it's not snot rocket, so he is letting out damage with a quilt spray. It's fairly cheap for nothing to say to just stand there and get it all done. Like, it's way cheaper for the quilts to be spammed in comparison to the axes. It's really not much you can do to poke him out here.
First blood's already been drawn as well. Y finding Omar down at that bottom lane, so Omar sadly on that support Slark, still not having the greatest of times. Noob even feeling like the need to TP back towards the fountain, so really not feeling quite safe here with this this duo down at the bottom lane. Meanwhile, GH, he's going to lose himself a courier. The thing is as well, the offlane of Tidebound, it is a bit slow as well. The thing is, Planet is pulling. But you are still finding some XP, you're still finding farm on Bark. Sure, the Ghost is having a bit of a better time, but it's not really that much better. You know, he's one CSM. Here we go, Planet. Oh, we'll run down the AA and just look at this. What are you meant to do against this as GH? You can't do anything, John.
No.
Planet now going for a run. Planet might die to Ghost. Mystic Snake is back up in 1. Planet is gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this as the lane's breakout break. You've got double squishy ranged heroes up against 2 tanky ones, says.
Ooh, I thought they were going to keep going for nothing to say, but I have to remember it is a support Slark we're looking at.
That it is. You know, again, he doesn't have Dark Pact. He does have the pounds to try to set up. They are at least getting some decent rune control going here. So they do manage to take away the water runes from...
Oh boy, top lane.
Nothing to say.
But just look at Ghost. Like, they're just chasing him down with double Iron Shells and he can do nothing about it. Like as soon as Planet moves in with the Void, like Ghost is just losing all his mana. It's pretty disgusting. And GH, like he's trying to make his appearance back, but look at this, Planet's just gonna run him down. Top lane, Planet's found him again. Luckily GH by the T1 and the Iron Shell was wearing off, but you can see the AA is not comfortable. In fact, now Bark's gonna move in. GH, is he just dead? I think he might be. In fact, both of them might be gone. The dive in, Bark dropping low, will try to surge away, but does die. But now Ghost falling out of mana. Planet, he won't leave him alone either. Planet will find a double. And it's just, what do you do against this? Like, sure, you get a kill onto Bark, but who the hell cares?
Yeah, you really don't. The timing's perfect from NGX right before it switches to daytime as well, where Planet's not going to be feeling as strong as the support Night Stalker. And again, it just comes back to the strap. Going for the AA with a Dusa safe lane that you go for in the end, you don't have synergy. The best synergy you have is maybe Gorgon's Grasp and Cold Feet, which you don't even have leveled up here for GH. There's no way you stop this chase down once it's committed from Tidebound. Daytime will give you some spacing here on Ghost, but the damage has been done. A very strong start for the side of Tidebound already. You compare what Ghost has in terms of CS in comparison to Shiro, almost 2 times more in Shiro. Not a good point.
Oh, Noob's trying to get some added efficiency here by taking a neutral camp, and thankfully for him, he does barely survive. Like, Y was chasing him for quite a while, and this poor Sand King, Jonathan, he can't really stick around in this lane anymore. Yeah, like, the lane has not worked out. Omar's not bothering anymore. He can't stick around and go after Shiro nor Y. And for poor old Noob, he's stuck at level 4 in this Sand King. And you're at the stage where you really can't contest by yourself.
Wow. They couldn't just soak up the XP on Omar. It kind of boils down as well to helping secure mid runes, like missing out on that little bit of EXP, missing out on level 3 where you get maybe some value on the Dark Pact. It means that you don't have that laning presence. They're starting to set their eyes up top here with Y getting the gate movement out.
They know how fast they can do with Ghost if they do get a nice bit of lockdown. Sadly for them, Ghost does spot out Y, so Y probably not going to stick around too long unless they want to pressure the T1 tower already. But at the very least, like, you can see just how uncomfortable this Medusa is starting to fill this top lane. Thankfully for Ghost, he has still found plenty of farm, and is only just about 300 gold behind the Terrorblade of Shiro. But still, that is a Shiro TB that's not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Still building up, basically a free lane for that Terrorblade already. The side of NGX, and they're going to have to just play it slow. Right, Sumail's the only launching point they really have here. It's going to take a while for your Sand King to start to even consider joining in, even at the level 6 mark. Does need some durability up. Nothing to say, it's just stealing some stacks away.
He jumped up to say though, in big trouble. Can he find a way? He cannot. Nice pick up here from NGX, and something pretty important is now Omar's going to find a pounce. We'll be able to pick up Y to boot. That's a nice couple kills. Sure, you do lose a bit of creeps here in the triangle, but they get something for their trouble.
I like that movement from Tidebound though. It forces everyone into the triangle after you clear out the stacks already. You buy more free space for Shiro. You're allowing some free room for Bak as well to play in that jungle. Already has the Vanguard up. I think you're very happy with the time utilization here on Tidebound. Like, yes, you're slowing down your Bristle, but the Bristle isn't going to be your key hero anyhow. Your scaling is coming in with the Terrorblade, and you're getting the auras lining up on Bak relatively soon. So your power spikes are still aligned. You're forcing NGX to respond. Mind you, they did have stacks elsewhere as well, which Noob doesn't manage to clear out. Omar did build up the right side of the jungle there, right by the Shrines of Wisdom. And at the least for NGX, they also aren't able to apply pressure on Ghost despite, again, having that free space after committing everything onto Nothing Say. So there are some bright sides for both sides. It does look like we're getting more gate movement across the map. Shiro showing up top.
And Sumail is also moving up, though. It seems like they want to set up in this defense. Problem is Noob. He did pop Epicenter, but he got caught in an ice path. It's a pretty awkward start for NGX. Noob still will Burrow Strike, but is going to die. Sumail does reveal himself, and Omar will TP in as well, but they're not really finding anything. Omar, he'll try to jump Y. Meanwhile, Shiro and Bark looking to retreat. Here comes Nothing to Say now, chasing down Omar, who cannot really escape from this. He will die. And ultimately, for Tidebound, you can still just push in this T1 top tower. There's no real defending it here for NGX.
Don't have anything left in the tank to kind of get that done. Don't even really have Sumail with mana, as he did to get that early retreat out. Just very unfortunate for Noob. Again, really well positioned from Shiro to scout out. And even that ward they dropped earlier here from Y, from his own early rotation, giving that information behind the tier 1. Opening up that kind of play here for the side of Tidebound early on. For NGX, again, it's just a matter of farm. You need something to launch your game off of outside of some roar pickoffs. It's going to be the Ags for Sumail that he's working into. You still have the Vanguard for Noob plus the Blink, so it's a ways to go until he starts to really find some good angles in for the Epicenter, which again, missed out in the last fight. Nighttime comes out again for Tidebound as well, so Planet's going to be feeling pretty good about just running around onto enemy heroes. We'll have to maybe just be a bit cautious, but there's no blast to be worried about here.
This support Night Stalker's being a real nuisance here, John. Like, this nighttime vision you're acquiring here with Planet is just becoming a bit too much to deal with, and no one's really safe on the map right now for NGX. The Noob being scouted out right now by Planet. He's actually already level 7, by the way, on the support NS, so he's had a pretty good time. He'll find himself a courier with Sumail's Staff of Wizardry on it, which is a real shame, because he was getting relatively close to having the full aghanim scepter up. But that'll be gone for about 2 minutes now. E1 mid tower still under siege here, thanks to nothing to save, but he will leave it be. Top lane is where the fight's going to happen. Ghost, he'll chase down, Planet to cut him off, and Ghost is going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It's just that easy.
Yeah, an isolated Dusa just trying to siege in. And they do at least shove out. Tower does fall down, but at the cost of your Dusa, a big sacrifice to make. For the side of NGX, again, that's your key thing here.
This is an even bigger one, John. I mean, Sumail is kind of the saving grace for NGX right now, but just look at them chasing down. Crippling Fury's out. Planet, he doesn't really have enough mana for a Void, so you can't slow him much. Oh, in fact, now he does. Now he does. He just pops the one charge he had, and he has barely enough for it. So Sumail even melting to the Iron Shell damage of Bark at the moment. And here I was saying this is a losing hero, John. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Again, in the right game with the right lane combination up against the right heroes, which are double squishy ranged heroes with no control, or not really remarkable control to speak of. It's such a terrible lane. And again, Tidebound identified that weakness very well. I love the aggression that we've been seeing out from Planet. But for NGX, they really just have to sit back and farm. Like, there is no play here. You maybe have this combination with the Ice Blast ready and Noob having a blink. They need to find a good angle in here, though.
I think they're gonna find Ghost. I think they've got Ghost here. Ghost is surrounded. Crippling Fury again out from Planet, and now with the Dark Ascension, there's no way to sneak your way in. Noob will jump in with an epicenter. Is it gonna be enough?
Oh,
with the
Sunder.
No, Shiro. The Sunder will save nothing to say. They'll take Bark down, but it's still a great fight here for the side of Tidebound. And Noob, he's underneath a sentry right now. I don't think he quite realizes it, but nothing to say. Can't really move in anyway at the moment. They still want that tier 1 mid tower. So it's a 3-for-1 trade. Bark the only one dying for Tidebound. I'll tell you again, I just think this pos for Night Stalker, it's just causing too many issues here for NGX.
And it is. Again, you don't have good solutions in your sports. It's not like you can just try to isolate it away with a Slark on Omar, or even just try to freeze him around with GH. It just doesn't work that way. Way too durable to kind of deal with. I'm also quite surprised. I didn't get to talk about this earlier on, but GH going for exposure over the Bone Chill, it's kind of surprising. We never see this picked up on the AA. You almost always go for the additional minus strength, as Ghost is just being stalked during night. No moment of peace for him. Again, they're applying that pressure to prevent the catch-up farm. But this lack of Bone Chill, this lack of softening up is making it harder to kill heroes. Like, yes, the AoE cold feet's nice. It's good for farming up. I don't think you're going to be farming up in the A in this kind of game when everyone's so far behind. Like, you don't have room to get that done. And trying to cast cold feet in the fight means you're within the firing line as an AA, which you really don't want to be, considering how tanky everyone is and how squishy you are here on this hero.
Absolutely. I kind of agree with that sentiment. I feel like maybe even GH is sitting there like, yeah, maybe I should have gone for the other facet. In fairness to him, I don't know how much of a difference it would have made anyway, considering how the game's gone right now for NGX. But, you know, maybe a bit. Anyway, Tidebound, they might have a freebie here with Omar if he's not too careful. But the Mark trying to get away. Why? Not able to close the gap. Noob will move in. Epicenter. Gonna be pump fake. I mean, you're so reliant on a nice initiation from Noob to set up these team fights. And even then, it's not guaranteed. Like last fight, it was a very nice initiation. It just didn't matter.
Get the free tormentor for themselves now. Now you have to deal with the liquid frost and fire every single time when you're trading away. You're not really getting anything off that space for NGX outside of free farm for Ghost up top. At the very least, that's starting to flow, although it's not keeping up with Shiro whatsoever. And Ghost has had a rougher game. He's been targeted quite a fair bit. Shiro's had a much freer game in comparison. They just never contested this Terrorblade in lane. One of its weakest moments. Your off-lane combination as well with Slark and Sand King just couldn't do much. But at least now, again, you've got the vision game from Omar, but he hasn't even scouted out these forward wards that side of Tidebound has already set up. At least he might be able to break the smoke here.
He may. Ace is on. Tidebound looking to wrap around through the river into that mid lane. The wall was dropped here by Bark. Doesn't really amount to much. They're going to find Omar though. Omar does have help around, but they might just let him die. Sumail is going to move in for a wall. Ice committed as well. They want to try and burst down this Night Stalker. Omar's going to move back in. Here comes Shiro from the side though. This has looked like an awkward fight again for NGX, and Sumail is going to die straight off the bat. Noob trying to help out. Can do nothing about it. The side as well. And the Thunder. Oh, Noob is going to die. And NGX, they're running out of options here, John. They are running out of options. They're like, what are you meant to do? Everything they try, it just backfires on them.
Yeah, they can't even catch out NTS when he's playing a little bit far forward. They had some numbers there. Couldn't take over. I think for NGX, I mean, it's a desperation play to Ice Blast one hero and not even find it on the support Night Stalker. It's a devastating feeling, but where are you expecting damage to come in from? It has to come in from Sumail with a roar, but they're just so tanky on the side of Tidebound. They already have the pipe up on Bach. Your magical damage isn't going to be cutting it at this point. At least the top stays alive for a little bit longer. They should be able to try to go for the deny as well if they so wish, cutting some resources out away from Tidebound. But losing map control, nothing to say, just stands in front of Ghost, pops the blade mill, doesn't care. Already has a Sanj up. Once, I mean, this is a bristleback. He really doesn't care. There's no diffusals up yet, and yeah, he just chases down.
Oh, he's loving it. He's having a great old time. He's having a great old time here on this bristle. So the rest of Tidebound, Jonathan. Now, mind you, NGX, they're not out of the game yet by any stretch of the imagination. Plenty of time here to find a good fight and make a big comeback happen in this game, and it's only a 6k net worth advantage. It's just a matter of all the farm for NGX right now just feels like it's sitting on Ghost. And as we know with Medusa, you need quite a lot to be at that 1v5 level.
That you do. You do need almost like an item advantage over the Terrorblade at this point. They'll try with a smoke, and if they catch a bigger Ice Blast roar combo, things could pan out. They just need better targets.
You can't try for nothing to say, surely. Maybe with the Ice Blast you can, but it's risky. They're going to try and get this in a channel. The Ice Blast is there, raw committed. In fact, they're just going to leave him. Yeah, just going to leave him. Tidebound, they try to react with a TP from Bart, but a very nice kill for NGX. And now they rush into Roshan. This is a huge opening. Can they get away with it? You're against the Darkseer in the Roshan pit. It's a bit spooky, Jonathan. It's a Jakiro as well, don't forget. That ice path is not very fun. Omar having different ideas. Although Planet does jump in, Omar will TP out. Although a nice vacuum from Bar. He's going to catch him. So you do at least find a support for the death on nothing to say. Obviously not very worthwhile for NGX, or rather for Tidebound, but they do at least stop the Roshan from happening. Now, of course, they want to start Roshan themselves.
They got the damage. They're already committing meta. Not going to take too long, especially with the blue starting to come in. Damage from NTS and Shiro. No way of contesting here either from NTS. Outside of the blast to be annoying. No follow through for that. Secondary life set to go. Probably onto nothing to say. Bristle back with 2 lives. And you can take care of him the one time with the Ice Blast combo. The second time without it, you're really not going to be able to touch NTS whatsoever. Like, this Bristle is starting to get out of control. Then the Sanjin Yash is going to be finished up. At some point, I would expect maybe even Ags. Lots of value there with a Bristle back active for sure. This game is still fully in Tidebound's control. 15-7, 7k lead here at 20 minutes in. Significant for Tidebound to play with. For the side of NGX, they need so much more. Right, like, you're still not fully ready here on Ghost. At least he has the diffusal to help manage and handle. Nothing to say, like, drain the mana away from this Bristle, prevent him from spamming out the quills. Start to have a bit of a simpler game. Whether or not you can actually melt enough mana, though, from Ghost is another question. And it also is a double-edged sword, because if you are caught in the wall of Replica and those illusions, the Dusa illusions start hitting Dusa alone, it also improves their burn on Dusa. You also lose some of your own EHP with your mana shield by just giving diffusal illusions away to the Darkseer. So again, it's going to be a matter of how well they space themselves out here on the side of NGX. For Tidebound, we've already taken 1 tier 2, mid still standing along with bot tier 1. Just need to find a few more here.
That's a big one. Now forced to roll. Ice Blast is there. They've got the Aegis. Wolver, Bach, a very nice wall in fact, catching both of them with the back onto Samal. Yeah, you get the Aegis off you, but at the end of the day, you lose your real life on the Beastmaster, and he's down for 20 seconds, John. That's not good news. Not for NGX.
Maybe not at all. At least you're getting a lot of space out for Ghost, but Plant is keeping track. Just waiting for that commitment on mid to end. Just keeping in.
Why'd you say his name, John? Well, why'd you say Ghost? Why'd you have to do that to the poor guy?
I mean, I was watching him, you know?
Now he's really a Ghost.
Yeah.
Now he's really a Ghost.
Up his name. They're isolating away Bach at the very least in compensation. Maybe.
Music to NGX's ears. Excuse the pun. Oh wait, Bach was a painter, wasn't he? He's not a musician. Was he a painter?
No.
Or was he the musician? I can't remember.
He's a musician. Yeah, Johannes Bach.
He's okay. So well, you didn't laugh, John. So I assumed I was wrong.
No, I was like, it processed in my head like, all right, Bach. Took a second in my brain, like.
You're a real jackass, John. Bottom lane, T2 tower. Maybe under siege. You know what? You're worse than Katy Perry. I'm just gonna say you're worse than Katy Perry. I wish you went to space.
I would love to go to space. No, not just a trip to the stratosphere, but whatever sphere she went to. I'd have to go to space.
I'll have you know she was very concerned about her life, Jonathan. Come on now, 4 minutes up.
See, that's the difference. That's the difference. I have no concern about my own well-being whatsoever, my friends. Send me up. Strap me in, baby. I don't care. Send him flying. I can be a test subject. It's fine.
Organize something. Organize it, John. Just don't kiss the ground afterwards, all right? It's a bit too quick for my liking. Come on now.
Certainly not.
Anyway, moving on. Smokey's there. There's my Katy Perry joke, John. I've been waiting days for that. NGX, they're gonna wrap around through the river. But there's the dark ascension. See, this is what makes it hard. Like, you come in for a smoke, dark ascension spot. We're still gonna jump them. There's nothing to say. Ice Blast is gonna land, but it's not good enough. Samel's in trouble. Samel's going down. And now the chase is on. Omar's gonna get backed in. TP cancelled. Meanwhile, Ghost also being chased. He's out of mana just about. Demon Till from Shiro. Metamorphosis was not even committed. John, you didn't even commit it. Just why? Unnecessary.
Yeah, and it was also not necessary to jump nothing to say again. Like, this time around, he had the fight coming in from Bach. He was not good enough, quick enough. The follow-through from NGX was slower. Like, they didn't manage to get the epicenter on top. They didn't manage to get the chain control off to get that quick kill. Now the high ground's going to be knocking. No roar on the respawn for Sumail, although it will be up relatively shortly at the very least. No Stone Gaze. I don't see a way how you stop this. Like, you're just going to lose these racks. The damage is there with Shiro. Again, from holding Metamorphosis off, he's got an angle here.
They're trying. Noob with the Sandstorm and Burrow Strike actually doing some pretty good work in stopping this, or at least slowing it down. And in fact, Tidebound, they are retreating. By the way, John, in case you're hearing that, that is not a dog being tortured. My dog's just very excited someone came home. Don't mind her.
I didn't hear it. That's fine, Mike. You're all good. I legitimately did not. I'm glad to know.
I might just go close the door while you offer some analysis, John. Go on.
You know what, Mike? No, you don't close the door. Drag Luna in. She could do a wonderful job of casting this game, I'm sure. She'd look better in the camera. Still, a great game state right now for Tidebound, as it is 20-17, 15k lead at 25 minutes in. For NGX, their key issue really is that their best play is single target pickoff. The best thing we've seen from them is a Roar Ice Blast with a lot of commitment, maybe even a follow through epicenter from Noob, just to find one kill. What happens when the wider team fight comes out? It just doesn't feel like they have enough control. They need to be able to say they need to find a way to control multiple heroes. It just feels impossible. Like, if you do get the wider team fight, you have to deal with the Darkseer through that wall guy. They already have the pipe for protection as well. Gonna be able to take the Tormentor for free. Free shard for Planet. Just gets creeps now. And restore himself in the middle of these engagements. Very useful against something like the Beastmaster, at the least. Now they're gonna go for that smoke rotation out. Oh, come back.
Certainly are. Thank you, John.
I'm saying as well, you know, maybe you could have Luna on the chair, you know? A little bit prettier, easier on the eyes, Mike.
Oh, don't say that. Ghost? Oh, not Ghost. Not Ghost. He's burning. He'll get the Stone Gaze and he will be able to run away. Here comes the cavalry. They're going to try and help out, but it's just pretty much Omar. Omar's just going to be chased down instead by the looks of it. Jeez. So they'll get Omar. They'll miss out on Ghost, but Omar just gets torn a new one in that scenario. And now, I mean, if you are the side of Tidebound, like, with or without the Omar kill, they're going high. Like, it doesn't matter. Oh, not Noob. You kind of need him. Do need the tank. Slark, you can afford to lose. That's a lot of damage here. Be careful, Noob. That's a lot of damage, sir. Okay. Noob's gone. He has buyback at least.
He does. Just, I don't see how you stop this. They at least have Blast ready with Roar. A sickle with Thunder just to keep Shiro alive. That trying to find that kill onto the Terrorblade again is just feels impossible. We'll be able to hold off Planet.
Yeah, they've got Planet. Planet on a different planet, John. Copper is the wall. Back is out. So now it's gone. A big lockdown here from Ghost, but it's not really making the difference because he's got no damage. At least you get away with Planet's life, I suppose. Still not the greatest of trades, but it is something.
It is something. You do manage to get a pretty good gold swing your way. You defend your tier 3 bot. You only lose the melee mid, although the melee is the more important racks anyhow. You're still in a really good spot for Tidebound. It could just sit back, reset, wait for next Roshan, as it should be respawning soon. It does seem like side of NGX. Yeah, they have to stitch it together for this team fight. They've got to be able to find multiple heroes out with a Burst Strike, Epicenter. Try to connect a multi-man Ice Blast with Epicenter on top. It can't all just be about Roar Ice Blast. Only taking care of one part of the equation leaves you vulnerable to the rest. And all of the cores right now on Tidebound, even the supports, are just a massive nuisance. Like, you have no easy ways of controlling them. Again, at the least with that kill on Y, you also do get a free gem on yourself. Like, Noob does have a gem. He's going to be a little bit more secure when he does go into the Sandstorm. So that's one less concern at the very least, but not enough to sway the tides just yet. Tidebound still in a very comfy position. Doesn't take them too long to really kill down. I like that Shiro just went all in on the disperser, just to ensure that if they do see Ghost, he's just dead instantly. GH got to go home at the very least. A little bit annoying.
Let GH go home. GH is gone. Tidebound still taking time. Next Roshan will be the big objective for them to try and focus down. That's an objective that NGX may not really have much of a choice in trying to contest at this point. Sure, you could continue to rely on just defending high ground with your Medusa Sanky, but it's not quite recommended. Roshan will roar. Ice Blast will connect. Noob is also here with an epicenter barrel truck ready. Looks like he wants to try and move in. Oh, no, so it's a big barrel truck epicenter. To be healthy, and Noob is down. He doesn't time it quite perfectly. I guess he just wanted to try with the Ice Blast and the epicenter, but just not enough, and now Noob is gone for 40.
He's gone for 40. He hands back the gem. He doesn't respect the fact that they would drop a sentry by the pit just to ensure that they can take it smoothly here on the side of Tidebound. And I do appreciate that play, right? Like, the Ice Blast is good. I feel like I gotta make something happen. We're losing on every front right now in NGX. We need to look for a turning point. It just doesn't connect. Maybe if you had Samil to back you up, it could go a little bit better here, but Shiro's just on the chase.
He certainly is. GH gonna make it out. Shiro, though, no remorse for human life at the moment. No regard for human life is what I should have said, John. For correcting me. Range racks. Gonna go down.
Hey, I like the sound of it. You know, it sounded a little bit funky, but it sounded cool.
I'm convinced you to stop listening at this point, to be honest.
No, I don't.
With each other way too long. Omar's in trouble. Omar's down, Jonathan. He's gotten for 44. Now, again, I hate to say it, but chances are it doesn't really matter too much.
No, not at this point. Again, the best you can do right now is reward runs. Can't really do too much in defense. At least he has a shard. Isn't that utility to have him respawn? He'll try. But I think the concern whatsoever for Shiro. He does have 2 lives. He even has that Linken's to protect anyhow. Not an easy target to pin down. They get cut off.
They are playing very safely here, Tidebound. They're not trying to rush this game in any way, shape, or form. They're just taking their time and being very surgical with it. They understand it is their game to throw here. And if they can find a pick-off first, they'd much rather that before they try for high ground. And it looks like the chase was onto Samal. He will make his way out. We'll just take over the dive triangle instead. Just very scary against this possible Night Stalker. Like, Planet's just being such a nuisance. He's constantly roaming the map, trying to see if he can find himself a target that his team can come in and just take him out. And on the bright side for MGX again, they aren't against Mega Creeps or anything like that. They're holding out. Ghost is getting bigger and bigger, but it's still a long way off being able to contest Shiro.
And it is. I mean, a Revenant's Brooch is a start. I don't know how strong that is when you're playing into a pipe already. Just that added magic barrier, and not even the barrier, just the aura alone negates a lot of that damage output. It does make it easier to pierce through Shiro, but you've got to be able to stand and hit Shiro first, and you can't really get that done here.
What did he roll? Shiro looks okay for now. They'll get the Sunder off and they'll move back in. A big back wall. Oh, fuck, he found all 4 of them. It doesn't matter, the follow-up wasn't there. Still, I mean, they can just go after the racks as NGX. They have to try and retreat and reset. I don't know where that rule went. It might have been an illusion. Meanwhile, Ghost getting forced up forward. He's not in a good position here, just trying to escape, but that crippling fear making it so hard. Nothing to say now, chasing him down. He's out of mana on the Medusa. Ghost still running. Shiro just attacking from a mile away, and they might just dive the fountain. 4 down. Only Samal to survive, and they call. They've had enough. GG. NGX doing 0-2 here by Tidebound.
It's pretty unfortunate for NGX, but very clean and very well played coming out from Tidebound. They just play to their strengths. They get that really cheeky flex out with